Hi, everyone. I'll keep this brief because I know you've probably been bombarded with quite a lot of information already today. So I've been with the School of Advanced Studies now for going on 3 years, on and off. So I came up in 2022 to do my master's degree at the Warburg Institute, took a break for a year, and now I'm back doing a PhD in the same place. I suppose I could just give you a rundown of what an average week looks like, maybe for a doctoral student here or for a master's student indeed as well. So obviously you've got kind of here in the heart of Bloomsbury, like a really good base. You have Senate House Library, which is expertly run and fantastic in terms of resources. You also have access to the Warburg Institute Library, the Institute of Classical Studies that could go on. And then you have the British Library around the corner, the Wellcome Collection. So that is something, particularly if you're a research student and you're constantly in search of these sorts of resources or good places to work, you have a real bounty of them here, which is just great. So an average week for me, I have a lot of flexibility as a research student in terms of when I'm in and when I'm not. So I'm usually here about 3 or 4 times a week. And that remaining day or two, I will work in another library in London or work from home, which is great. I know a lot of you will be probably some form of hybrid or distance learning, so it's great to have that flexibility there. In terms of, sort of an average day, I mean, this week's been a bit weird. The Warburg Institute's been totally deserted because they've all been driven out by the noise of the UCL Freshers Festival happening in Gould Square, but I promise that won't be going on forever. Average day, mostly for me, it will be working at the Warburg Institute, usually having lunch with colleagues in the common room there, or here at Bloom downstairs. And you'll notice that sort of around Gordon and Woburn Square, there's always tons of food stalls, which is very nice. And I suppose when I was a taught student, it would have been very similar, but for the fact that I had more contact hours. So usually about 6 to 8 contact hours a week. And that would have been split between online and in person. I'd be welcome to take questions from you guys, but I think my main, if I can share some highlights from my time with SAS, one of the first would be just that the name, the School of Advanced Study, does get you very far. And I would encourage you to leverage it as much as possible in interviews, seeking out work experience, library memberships, fellowships, all of that kind of thing. It can be really valuable. Build good relationships as much as you can with your supervisors and tutors because they will be invaluable when it comes to writing recommendations and references and helping proofread applications and drafts and conference papers and all of that sort of thing. And it's never too early to start thinking about applications for the next step because you don't want to be stuck with no job or no funding after a great year or 3 years at the School of Advanced Study. It would be, it's wiser, I would say, to take advantage of all the opportunities you have here, to think about those next steps, especially with the careers service as well. Rosie with the careers service is great, really enthusiastic, and always there for one-to-one coaching sessions, which I know I've personally found very valuable. The Turing Exchange is another highlight that I will share because the school has fantastic partnerships with institutes. I want to say all over Europe, but I suppose that's kind of an understatement because there's also placements you can take in the United States, for example. I was lucky enough this year to get a 1-month fellowship at the University of London Institute in Paris in June, which I found very rewarding. And the school gives a lot of support with those applications, with funding, with finding accommodation. So that's something I would also encourage you to consider and to look into. And a final note would also just be to make friends, because a postgraduate degree of any description can be very intense, and it's always very valuable to have a circle of people around you who can give you feedback and support and encouragement, especially at times when it all feels like it's getting too much. Unless you have any specific questions for me that hopefully I can answer from a student's perspective, I will leave you to Elaine and your social. But please, I'm here. And I can also pass on my email address as well if any of you would like to get in touch about anything you're not sort of comfortable sharing in front of a room full of people.
Any questions for Alex right now? No?
I'll also hang around for a bit at the end of the session.
Yes, please do.
Yeah.
Please do, thank you. It's interesting that you mentioned about the Turing. I'll be launching that actually probably in the next couple of weeks. So we've got funding again, which offers opportunity to go for a month to various institutions we have as an association with, mainly in Europe. We've cut the US one for now, for reasons which you will understand, just for this year until things settle down a little bit. But there are opportunities across Europe. So I'll be launching that. Look out for it because you are eligible to apply for one of those places. Thank you very much, Elaine. One more, yes.